Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing a Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon test hand video. So this is a really awesome deck that basically summons out one of the most powerful ritual monsters in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the form of Blue Eyes Chaos Max, which has an awesome effect to do double piercing damage, and it can be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, which is just all that you need to have an insane boss monster. It also has 4,000 attack points, so pretty much if you attack into a monster that has 0 defense, you automatically win. So, without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards like getting your name in the description of every single video, getting a signed card to the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron along with test stands. So, without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So let's go ahead and shuffle up the deck really quick, guys. This is a really awesome deck. I've been playing with this deck probably, well, actually I have been playing with Blue Eyes Chaos Max since the release of Blue Eyes Chaos Max, and I absolutely love this deck. It is a fun deck. It's very consistent in what it's trying to do, and you will always summon a Blue Eyes Chaos Max to your side of the field. You want to combo it usually with your copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon because it helps you get some OTKs, and I have some very interesting tech cards in this deck that you guys will see as we play through it, hopefully, like Shein Spy, to be able to completely OTK your opponent on the very, if you go second turn and 1 attack, which is just really, really awesome. And I love the way this deck plays, and it's just basically an all-in OTK based deck. So let's go ahead and shuffle up the deck, and let's see what we can do with our test hands. And we even just got a new card for this deck in Dawn of Majesty. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle up the deck, got the deck, and that is the new card right there, High Ritual Art, which is an awesome card for this deck. So we're going to go ahead and cut the deck really quick, and we're going to see what we can do. So let's go ahead and see what we can draw for our first hand. So we're going to go ahead and draw for a Chaos Form, which is really good, High Ritual Art, which is very good, a copy of Candle, Pot of Extravagance, and a copy of Advanced Ritual Arts. So we have plenty of ritual. We have plenty of ritual spells in our hand, which is what the deck really needs. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this as well because we're going to need to go into that extra deck in just a second. And so we're going to need to make sure that it's totally randomized when we go into the extra deck, because we're going to be banishing a couple of cards. Now, I will say the extra deck is something you don't super even need in this deck. So if there's anything that you guys see during the deck profile or this that you just can't play because of price, you can drop it out. So let's go ahead and activate the Pot of Extravagance, because that is the very first card you have to activate as soon as you start. So we're going to go ahead and activate that and banish the top 6, which, see, we totally diversified it and we totally changed it where we didn't banish all the same card. We're going to go ahead and send this to the graveyard. Once we do, we're going to go ahead and draw 2 cards, which is a copy of Shein Spy. Okay, we pretty much at this point won if you go second, because what you're going to do is you're going to reveal the copy of the Candle in your hand and special summon it to your side of the field by revealing any ritual spell. And once you do that, you're going to be able to special summon from the deck a copy of Talismandra, and then you're going to be able to add from deck to hand your copy of your Blue Eyes Chaos Max, which is going to help us out a lot. So once we do that, we're going to activate the copy of Advanced Ritual Art. And then once we activate the copy of Advanced Ritual Art, we're going to send from our deck to the graveyard a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon. And once we send that to the graveyard, you're then going to special summon out your copy of your Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Now, the really cool thing is if you are going second against your opponent, you can then at this point activate Shein Spy and give your opponent the copy of the Candle or the Talismandra, it doesn't matter. Swing into this card, which has 0 defense, and then you instantly win the duel because it inflicts 8,000 damage to your opponent, because this does double piercing damage, and this has 0, so 2 times 4,000 is 8,000, and you instantly win off of a Shein Spy, which is super, super helpful, and I really love the way that that actually works. It's very funny. I used to use Creature Swap because I wanted my opponent's monster, but I realized it's too reliant on your opponent having something, so you just don't need it. You just play Shein Spy. But if you're trying to look for a little bit more budget of an option, you can use the copies of Creature Swap if you don't have access to Shein Spy. Just saying, guys. And you can also check out the deck profile for this down in the description below. So let's go ahead and shuffle up the deck again and see what we can do. As you guys can see, this deck is very consistent. You're going to get out your copy of your Blue Eyes Chaos Max every single turn, or you're going in for some rank 8 plays, which is really helpful. I've changed it up from the last time I built it, where I wasn't playing alternative white, but now I'm playing alternative white in this build because it helps out a lot. So we're going to go ahead and lay this back over here because we already touched the extra deck. Shuffle the extra deck really quick just in case we get another extrav. So we're going to go ahead and cut the deck right here. And then once we cut the deck, we're going to draw. So we're going to go ahead and draw into a Chaos Dragon, Chaos Form, Pot of Extravagance, which we hit again, a copy of Candle, and a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is a pretty good hand. We're going to go ahead and drop the copy of Extravagance, and once you do, you're going to banish the top 6 off of your extra deck, which is not going to be a big deal at all because you're not going to super go into the extra deck anyways, and you're going to hit this. Again, not that big of a deal. This is one of the only cards you really don't want to hit is the copy of number 97. That's the only one I really don't like to hit in the extra deck because I can use it to make a 9,000 beat stick. But then at this point, you're going to get to draw 2. So we're going to go ahead and draw into another Blue Eyes White Dragon and a Xian Spy. And at this point, you can use the copy of the Candle to reveal in your hand to be able to special summon to your side of the field a copy of the Talismandra from the deck, and then you're going to use the copy of Talismandra to be able to grab from the deck a copy of your Blue Eyes Chaos Max, which again, if you're going second, you auto win again because you can actually summon it to your side of the field with a copy of Chaos Form, and then you automatically win the game because you're going to use Chaos Form, ditch the copy of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, summon its upgraded form in the form of Chaos Max, give your opponent the copy of the Candle again, and then once you do, you just swing into the copy of the Candle, and you instantly win the game because you inflicted 8,000 points of damage to your opponent in one swing, unless they've gained life points for some sort of reason. If you don't do that, you can actually just tribute summon out the Blue Eyes to your field, which is a little bit cool, to be able to just normal summon out the copy of Blue Eyes to your field if you want to do that, to give yourself a little bit more damage, because you have a normal summon, these are special summons, and they can be used as tribute material to summon out a monster. So you can tribute summon out the ultimate engine of destruction in the form of Blue Eyes White Dragon. That is an option for you guys, or you can just use the Xian Spy to give it to your opponent and insta-win with that, which is both really good ways to actually win the game. Like, either way works. So let's go ahead and shuffle up the deck again and see what we can do for another test hand. As you guys can see, we've done the same exact play twice, which is just super consistent in this deck. If you don't have the copy of Xian Spy, you can make some rank 8 plays if you want to, as long as you don't have the incantations on the field, because they do lock you out from summoning from the extra deck, which is the only downfall of those cards. But you don't even, like I said, need the extra deck all that much. That's why I'm playing Pot of Extravagance in this deck. You don't have to play the extra deck at all in this deck. So let's go ahead and see what we can draw for the next one. We're drawing to a Talismandra, Chaos Max, which we already got. Now we just need a ritual spell, which we have this to reveal to get the copy of Candle, a copy of Xian. God, every time we get Xian Spy, a copy of Alternative White, and a copy of Manju. So at this point, good God, we have an insane hand. We're going to go ahead and reveal this in our hand, and then special summon out the copy of, reveal the copy of Chaos Max, and then special summon out to our side of the field. We've like OTK'd 3 times in a row. This is crazy. We're going to go ahead and use the copy of Candle to be able to reveal it in our hand, to be able to grab from the deck a copy of Chaos Form or Advanced Ritual Art. It's totally up to you which one you want to grab. I would probably grab the Advanced Ritual Art because it's going to thin the deck a little bit, which helps out a lot to actually thin the deck with this card. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and activate the copy of Advanced Ritual Art, and then send from the deck to the graveyard a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then we're going to summon out the copy of Chaos Max to our field, and once you summon out the Chaos Max, you can then use the Xian Spy to be able to give your opponent, again, the Candle or the Talismandra. Or then you can normal summon out the copy of Manju to your side of the field to be able to grab a ritual spell or a ritual monster, which I usually like to grab the copy of the Chaos Dragon because I don't play as many Chaos Dragons as I do the other ritual spells, so I just like to go ahead and grab that from the deck. It helps out a lot to be able to grab that card, but you can use the copy of Xian Spy, give this to your opponent, and then once you give this to your opponent, you swing in with the Chaos Max again, and you win again. So, like, as you guys can see, the deck is ridiculously consistent. Like, I love this deck. It is so fun to be able to play this particular build. It's so consistent and so fun. But there is times, I will mention to you guys, like 1 in like 20 hands, I have to say, that I've been playing this deck, you will break. Like, it will happen. You'll draw too many monsters, you'll draw too many ritual spells, you'll draw too many ritual monsters, or you'll draw a copy of Talismandra and too many ritual spells, and you just won't have the plays to go in, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it does happen. So let's go ahead and cut the deck again and see what we can do. So we're going to go ahead and draw this turn, and we're going to draw to a Blue Eyes White Dragon, an Alternative White Dragon, a copy of Bookstone, a copy of Chaos Max, and a copy of Dragon's Mirror. Okay, so this is pretty good as well. You're going to do some very, very, very simple plays. This is what I'm talking about with this hand. You don't have a ritual spell, but you have a ritual monster, so you can't use the copy of Bookstone to grab a copy of Candle from the deck so you can grab your ritual spell because you don't have a ritual spell spell to reveal. If this would have been Pencil Plume, then you could have gotten into some really interesting plays, but you don't, unfortunately. But there's still other things that you can do. If you're going second, even if you're going first, I'm going to show you guys really quickly the going first hand. You just reveal this, special summon this card to your side of the field, and then you would pass. That's all you could do for this first play, and that's okay. If you're going second, though, you would draw into a copy of Trade-In, and that's where things get a little bit different. You'd use the copy of Trade-In, and then you would ditch the copy of the Blue Eyes Alternative White, and then you're going to draw 2 cards off the top of the deck, which changes everything because now you have a copy of Kandal, and you have a copy of Manju. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon out that copy of Manju to our side of the field, and once you normal summon that card to your side of the field, you're going to be able to grab a copy of Advanced Ritual Art, which is going to help us out a lot to be able to go into some more plays. Now that we've got the copy of Manju on our field, you can use the copy of the Bookstone on our side of the field, reveal it, and special summon it to our side of the field. And then you can special summon out from the deck a copy of, you can actually get a really insane board. This is a really good hand now. You can actually use this to grab a copy of your Talismandra, and then you can grab, or no, don't grab Talismandra. Grab a copy of Kandal. Special summon out the Kandal, add the copy of High Ritual Art, shuffle up the deck, and then once you do, you're going to be able to use the copy of Advanced Ritual Art first. Use the copy of Advanced Ritual Art, send from deck to graveyard a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is right over here. We're going to send that copy of Blue Eyes to the graveyard, shuffle up the deck again, and then once we do, we're going to summon out the copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max. So at this point, you're looking at this field and you're going, wait, what else do we do? How do we get further? Well, I'm going to show you guys. So you can actually use the copy of Advanced Ritual Art on your side of the field, and once you do, or High Ritual Art, you can actually send from your hand to the graveyard your copy of your Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then special summon from the deck a copy of your Chaos Dragon to get this really, really awesome field. Now, the really cool thing is you actually have a setup that you can't do right now because you have those copies of the Kandal and the copy of the Manju. So if you go to your opponent and they pass, and they can get rid of this on your field. If they do try and board wipe this, but they can't get rid of these 2 monsters, this will actually shuffle itself, I believe, back into the deck with this card. It has the ability that you can ritual summon a card and special summon from your deck, and you must also tribute normal monsters from your hand whose total level equal the level of the ritual monster you're ritual summoning, and shuffle that ritual monster back into the deck, during the end phase. So we're going to shuffle this card back into the deck, and then we're going to draw for turn. So I'm going to show you guys what you can actually do and why I play Dragon's Mirror. So we're going to draw for turn, and do a copy of Alternative White. Now we're going to activate the copy of the Dragon's Mirror, and then we're going to banish out these 3 cards from our graveyard, which is the copy of the 2 Blue Eyes and the Alternative White. And if they do out this board, let's just say they totally board wiped you, and you had the Dragon's Mirror, at this point you can throw out a copy of Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate. That's a little ridiculous that you can just recover so easily with the copy of the Dragon's Mirror. And this card is even an out to Dragoons. This card is an out to Ultimate Falcons. This card is an out to just about every card in the game except for Kaiju's. Kaiju's out this card ridiculously well. And what this card basically does is if you use a Blue Eyes Alternative White as a fusion material to summon this card can pop 3 cards on the field per turn, but it can't attack the turn you activate that effect, which is a little bit of a downside, but it's still able to play into some really cool plays. So let's go ahead and shuffle up the deck again, and let's see what we can do for another test hand, because this deck, like I showed you guys, is ridiculously consistent. I really love the way that this deck plays, so we're going to go ahead and just shuffle it up and see what we can do for at least one more test hand. So let's go ahead and shuffle the deck. So we're going to go ahead and draw, and we're going to go ahead and draw into a copy of Pot of Extravagance, a copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, Melody, and a copy of Trade-In. So this is really good because the Trade-In is going to be turned off a little bit because you're not going to be able to use that card, because you're going to be able to just turn that card off because of the Pot of Extravagance. But we're going to go ahead and cut the deck, and we're going to go ahead and draw 2. So we're going to go ahead and draw 2 off the top of the deck. And once we draw those 2 cards, you're going to draw into a copy of Chaos Max and a copy of the Pot of Extravagance. So you can use the copy of Melody at this point to discard the copy of the Pot of Extravagance to the graveyard and be able to search from the deck a copy of Blue Eyes Alternative and a copy of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is going to help you out a lot to be able to grab those cards from the deck. I really like being able to grab those directly from the deck with this particular play, and then you can use the Melody again to be able to hit the copy of Extravagance, and then you can grab from the deck a copy of, say, maybe another copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Alternative, because you're just going to grab those cards out of the deck, or you could grab another copy of Alternative, and you could grab out from the deck a copy of the Chaos Dragon, because you're just going to get more monsters. You're not going to be able to ritual summon this turn, but you're able to fill up your hand a little bit with some more ritual monsters, which is helpful because if you draw into literally any incantation that can reveal itself, you're going to be able to do a lot of stuff. So at this point, you can just reveal these, special summon this card to your side of the field, and then you pass, which is probably the most brick hand that we've gotten so far, but you still have more plays. So we're going to go ahead and pass against the opponent. Our opponent's going to go. We're going to draw into an advanced ritual art, and at this point you're set, because you're going to go ahead and activate the copy of the advanced ritual art, send this from deck to grave, and then summon out the copy of the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, and then you can reveal this in your hand and special summon out another copy of your Blue Eyes Alternative White. And since you don't have anything on the field, this is one time you can actually go into the extra deck and summon out some really cool stuff, which is number 97. And we got lucky, and we summon out both of these to our field, and then overlay one with the other, detach a material from this, and then swing at our opponent for 9,000, 4,000, and then 3. But basically, you're just going to swing for the 9,000 because that's the big play that you're going to do anyways. And he's going to be the big player in this whole particular field. I really like this card in this deck. It helps out a lot because sometimes you will need that extra damage, and it's why I play it in this build. So let's go ahead and do one more test hand and see what we can pull off for one more test hand, because as you guys can see, this deck is ridiculously consistent. I really love the way that the deck plays. It's really, really fun. I really like the consistency of the deck. And it's just super good. Like, you never run into really bad hands. Like, I have not run into a single terrible hand in all of the test hands that I've showed you guys. I haven't had a single terrible one. I've always been able to summon at least a Blue Eyes Chaos Max or an Alternative White every single hand. So let's go ahead and see what we can do for the next one and see what we can pull off. So we're going to go ahead and draw our 5, which is a Xian Spy, Kandal, Chaos Max, Trade In, and Pot of Extravagance. So we're going to drop the Pot of Extravagance, and we're going to go ahead and shuffle the extra deck again. And we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. And then we're going to move these over out of the way. And then once we do, we're going to draw 2 cards, which is a copy of Bookstone and a copy of Dragon's Mirror. So this is going to help us out a little bit. We don't have a ritual spell. This is probably the first brick that we're going to see, but you still have a little bit of plays. You can still do the copy of trade. No, you can't. You can't do the copy of trading because of the extravagance. So we're going to go ahead and have to pass on that hand. That's the first time out of all the hands, like I said, like 1 in 20, you're going to get a brick. But like maybe 1 in 10, maybe 1 in 10, maybe 1 in 20, somewhere in there, you're going to get a brick. So we're going to go ahead and pass, or we can't do anything. So we're going to draw for turn, and it's a Chaos Max. So at this point, you're going to use the copy of Trade In, and you're going to draw 2, which is a copy of Advanced Ritual Art of Manju. And now we're going to go into the races. So we're going to activate the copy of the Advanced Ritual Art, and we're going to send to the graveyard a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then we're going to summon out the copy of the Chaos Max to our side of the field. And then you can use the copy of our Manju to normal summon. And then you can grab from the deck a copy of Chaos Form. And Chaos Form is actually going to get our other copy of our Blue Eyes White Dragon, or Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, to our field, because we're going to reveal in our hand the copy of Kandal, special summon this to our side of the field, and then special summon the copy of the Talismandra, and then we're going to use the copy of the Talismandra to be able to add from deck to hand a copy of Chaos Dragon, which is right here. And then once you do that, you're going to be able to just immediately activate the copy of the Chaos Form and special summon this card to your side of the field by banishing a copy of Blue Eyes from the graveyard, which is going to give you even more added bonuses to your field because now you have a copy of Chaos Dragon and Chaos Max. So this can attack first and reduce the attack and defense of your opponent's monsters by 0. Or to 0 and change their battle positions, and then this just needs to swing into 1 monster that has 0 defense and you automatically win, which is pretty cool. But you also have the Xian Spy that you can give one of these monsters to your opponent and then just swing into it and you win. Basically, this deck wins either going second or going into turn 3. You can establish okay boards going first, as you guys can see, but it kind of really depends on what you get and what you can play around with. So I think that's going to be it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely tell me what you think of this deck down in the comments down below. If you guys would like to check out the deck profile for this, it is right down there in the description, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys!